Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Josh right here, back again with another video on Let's Talk Sports. As you can see, I'm out on a walk right now. I stopped by a little park here, sitting on a little bench, making a video because yesterday while I was at work, there was a trade that went on in Major League Baseball, and there was a 3-team trade. One of those teams that was involved was my favorite team, the St. Louis Cardinals. Got the hat on, a little Cardinals shirt here. And I was going to make the video last night, but when I got home, I was pretty tired. So I'm like, well, you know what? I'll just make the video. I'll make the video today. And it was a 3-team trade that involved the Cardinals, and then the other 2 teams involved were the Chicago White Sox and the Los Angeles Dodgers, was the other team. And I got it written down here on a piece of paper. I'll just kind of go through everything, kind of go through the trades and all that. So the Cardinals ended up getting starting pitcher Eric Fetty and Tommy Pham from the White Sox. The White Sox got Miguel Vargas, shortstop Alexander Albertus, Gerald Perez, and a player to be named later from the Dodgers, while the Dodgers got Michael Kopech from the White Sox, and they got Tommy Edman from the Cardinals. If you hear noise in the background, there's some kids playing on the playground there in front of me, and then there's also some traffic going on here. Anyway, so I'll kind of go through every single part of the trade, kind of go through what every team got, mainly the Cardinals, but we'll talk about the other stuff. So Cardinals get Eric Fetty and Tommy Pham from the White Sox. So Eric Fetty, starting pitcher, he was with the Nationals for a number of years, was back and forth, I think, between the majors and the minors, and then also between the rotation and the bullpen while that was going on. And then the Nationals, I believe they traded him to the White Sox. I think that's how he got on the White Sox. And this year he has been pretty good. He's been on probably one of the few things about the White Sox this year they've been pretty good. If you live in Illinois like I do, you watch a lot of Cardinals and White Sox baseball. The White Sox this year have been pretty terrible, while the Cardinals, they're middle of the pack right now, trying to get a playoff spot. They're 54-52 as of me recording this video. They're 2 games above 500. And I'd love for them to try and stay above 500. Try and stay around. They've been hovering around 2 to 5 games above 500 almost for most of the time. They have been above 500. Eric Fetty was a player that the Cardinals were linked to get. Eric Fetty, he seems like somebody that the Cardinals would trade for, right? Like the writing was on the wall that he would be traded to St. Louis. There were a few other pitchers that the Cardinals were linked to get. I believe Austin Gomber, trying to bring Austin Gomber back from the Rockies was an option. Jack Flaherty was another option, because Jack Flaherty's been having a great year this year with Detroit. Austin Gomber, he's been okay with the Rockies. Austin Gomber, if you don't know, he was actually involved in the Nolan Arenado trade, and I believe he is the only guy from that trade that's made the big leagues for Colorado. Correct me if I'm wrong, Rockies fans. I'm not too sure. But yeah, Eric Fetty, he's been having a really solid year this year for the White Sox and their starting rotation. Hopefully he can help out with the Cardinals in any way. He'll probably be like a back end of the rotation guy. Probably be our number 5 guy for right now, because the Cardinals, they have been mainly going with a 4-man rotation for most of the year. Sonny Gray, Miles Michaelis, Kyle Gibson, and Lance Lynn. And then they've also had Steven Matz for a little bit in the number 5 spot, but he's been hurt for most of the year. I believe they've had Liberatore a couple times start, but he was not that good, so they demoted him to the bullpen. And then they've had Andre Palante, who I'm not really a huge Palante guy. I know some people, they really like Andre Palante, but for me, I don't know, I'm just not really a huge fan of him. Like to see a little bit more out of him. I don't know, I'm sorry, I'm just not fully sold on Palante just yet. But hopefully Eric Fetty, he can help us out in the rotation and kind of be that guy that the Cardinals need. And then for Tommy Pham, this is the 4th guy the Cardinals have brought back. Like, this is the 4th former Cardinal that's coming back to St. Louis, like that's getting a second stint for St. Louis since 2022. Albert Pujols, Lance Lynn, Matt Carpenter, and now Tommy Pham. Pujols, of course, in 2022. Lance Lynn and Matt Carpenter this year. And now Tommy Pham. Tommy Pham, say what you want about him. I know he's not really the same outfielder he once was. When he was in St. Louis, I knew he was going to be solid. I didn't necessarily think, he was going to, shock the world and, be the next Stan Musial or Lou Brock for St. Louis or anything. I knew he would be solid, but not, I don't know, just not as good as some people said he would be. And now, ever since he's left St. Louis, he's kind of been this journeyman veteran outfielder. He was traded to the Rays in 2018, and then he was a Padre. He's been with the Reds, the Red Sox, the Mets, and Arizona Diamondbacks, and then this year he's been with the White Sox. I know a lot of Cardinal fans are not too thrilled about Tommy Pham coming back. I think the White Sox just threw him in there just because, I guess get the trade done, might probably add a little bit more. Maybe the Cardinals were wanting a little bit more. And they were also linked to get an outfielder this year. And I guess Tommy Pham ended up being that guy. So, yeah, Tommy Pham is back in St. Louis. Another reason why a lot of people are very hectic about Tommy Pham. I'm going to leave real quick because there's so many people, so many interruptions. Church bells are ringing, which means it's high noon. But a lot of people are, they're not really too thrilled that Tommy Pham's back just because, he's older now, older outfielder, and of course he's had some problems, in the clubhouse, he off the field and that type of stuff. So some people may not be too thrilled about that, but hopefully it's Tommy Pham. He's hopefully somebody that, can, motivate the clubhouse a little bit, I guess you can say. Try to get back into winning. And, I don't know, he could either be really good for the Cardinals clubhouse, or he could be really bad. I don't know. But what I do know is we'll just have him for half of the year. He'll be a free agent again. And I doubt that the Cardinals will bring him back for 2025. Another thing, too, about Eric Fetty is that we have control of him until 2025. So we have him for all this year, the rest of 2024, and then all of 2025, which will be super helpful for St. Louis. And so, yeah, how do I feel about this part of the trade as a Cardinals fan? Some people like the trade. I know some people hate it. There's been a lot of mixed reviews about this trade. For me, I I'm not too thrilled about the Tommy Pham part. I know a lot of people are not too thrilled that Tommy Pham's coming back. But Eric Fetty, he is somebody I am pretty excited about just because, it's something, something to help out with the rotation, and also a little bit younger, 29 years old. So finally somebody else other than Andre Palante, who's going to be, younger than 35 in the Cardinals rotation. So super thrilled about it. So yeah, hopefully this ends up being a solid trade for the Cardinals. And then for the White Sox and Dodgers, I'll go over this part pretty briefly. Car behind me. Hopefully he's not coming this way. The White Sox, they get Miguel Vargas from the Dodgers, Alexander Albertus from the Dodgers also, Gerald Perez, and a player to be named later. So the White Sox get Miguel Vargas and a few prospects. Obviously, the White Sox this year, they're back to rebuilding. It seems like the White Sox rebuild will never end. But for Miguel Vargas, I honestly feel bad for him. I honestly feel bad for Miguel Vargas. Just because, I don't know, it's like he had a shot with the Dodgers, and the Dodgers, I think they gave up on him a little bit too quick. I think he can be a really good infielder. He's great with the glove. Obviously needs to work a little bit with the bat a little bit more. And it kind of reminds me of the Stanton trade with the Yankees and Marlins, where it's like the Marlins only have like one guy from that trade that was Major League ready, that had MLB service, and that player ended up being Starlin Castro, of all players. But the White Sox are going to get some very young prospects from the Dodgers. I think a lot of them were in rookie ball for most of their careers. I believe one of them got moved up to single A earlier in the year. I'm not too sure. I don't really follow minor league baseball too much. I don't really follow prospects and all that stuff. I've tried doing it before, don't get me wrong. I've tried following minor league baseball, but it is just way too hard. Too many levels. I follow Double A and Triple A a little bit, but not really rookie ball and single A. But yeah, White Sox and Dodgers. And then the Dodgers get Michael Kopech from the White Sox. I originally thought it was Garrett Crochet, but I double-checked, thankfully, before I hit record. And the Dodgers got Michael Kopech, not Garrett Crochet. Garrett Crochet is another guy that the White Sox are rumored to trade. So I thought it was Crochet for a second, but it was Michael Kopech, so I'm sorry. Kopech, kind of like Eric Fetty. Solid pitcher. He's been solid for the White Sox this year in their bullpen. He's just another relief pitcher that the Dodgers can use. Man, lots of interruptions going on today. First, I was taking a walk. I was sitting down at a park bench, and then there was some kids that came to the park to play, and then church bells, then a train, and now a car is right behind me. So many interruptions today. I'm just trying to make a video. But I'm walking down a road that's not super busy, so that's good. But as I was saying, Michael Kopech, he can be good for the Dodgers this year in their bullpen. Hopefully he does well in LA. He's going to go from playing with one of the worst teams in baseball to one of the best teams in baseball right now. And then, the Dodgers also got Tommy Edman this year from the Cardinals. Tommy Edman, he has not really played a game yet this year. So, for those of you who don't know, I believe he was rehabbing, was hurt for most of the year, and then he had to undergo surgery, I think. Because I think he had, what did he have? I think he had a wrist. Injuries with his wrist. So Tommy Edman has not played a game yet this year. I don't think he has anyway. And so, yeah, and then the Dodgers also got a right-handed pitcher, Oliver Gonzalez, from the Cardinals. Gonzalez, he's been in the minor leagues. Not too much to say about Oliver Gonzalez. Kind of the same thing with the White Sox prospects, or the prospects that the White Sox got. Not really too much to say about him. Very young guy. He could either be, one of the best pitchers in baseball later on in his career, or he'll end up being a really big bust. One of those two. So, and then I believe the Cardinals are getting a player to be named later from the Dodgers. It's either that or cash considerations, one of the two. I don't remember. But not really too much to say about the Cardinal-Dodger trade. Other than Tommy Edman has not played yet this year. And the Dodgers are getting a young pitching prospect. Like I said before, he'll either be really good or he's going to be really bad. Knowing the Dodgers and how they develop their pitchers, I imagine he's going to be pretty good. So, yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. What are your guys' thoughts on this trade? I will be covering some other trades that happened at the deadline later on this week. I'll probably do a video talking about every single trade that went on, like Jazz Chisholm getting traded to the Yankees. Lane Thomas got traded from the Nationals to Cleveland. The Mets, I think they traded for Jesse Winker. So yeah, I'll probably talk about those trades. The Cardinals are also rumored to be trading Dylan Carlson this offseason, or not this offseason, this trade deadline. Well, if he doesn't get traded at the deadline, I imagine he'll get traded in the offseason. I don't know, but yeah, I hear Dylan Carlson may get traded to either Washington or the Angels. I think those two teams are linked to get him. If a Dylan Carlson trade happens, you bet your rear end I'm going to make a video on it. But anyway, what are your guys' thoughts on this trade? Cardinals fans, Dodger fans, White Sox fans, are you guys happy with this trade? Are you guys upset with the trade? Cardinal fans, are you sad that Tommy Edman's going to be gone? Are you happy that Tommy Pham is back, getting Eric Fetty to help out in the rotation? Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Like this video, subscribe if you're new here. Road to 500. I'm going to continue my walk, and I will see you guys next time.